All right, so what I'm going to talk to you about now is finishing off a round and the scoring that goes with that. So basically what happens is you keep playing, so you play a card from your hand and pick one up from the main deck. When the main deck's gone, you keep playing until all the cards you've gone. So we're at this stage now, everyone's got one card left. So this person won the last trick, so they go first. They'll play a 10 of bonds because that's what they've got. Next person plays a 4 of gold. Doesn't help them because they need a bond to win. 3 of property, doesn't help them. And this person plays a 6 of bonds. So the 10 of bonds is they win the round. Because they win the last trick, they actually win the round. So it doesn't matter if you've got the most amount of tricks, what counts is do you win the last trick. So this person wins the round, and as a result, they're the winner. So what they do is they get to choose the winning asset class, which is the class they've got in their asset card. So they've got property. So property is the winning asset class. Now, being a low risk investor, they get 1 times their total score. So what's their score? The score is the number of tricks they have, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the power of their investment goal. So 4 to the power of 8 is 4, doubled is 8, doubled again is 16, 32, 64, 128, 156, 256, and 512. So they get a score of 512. Now what this person also gets to do is they get to choose the losing asset classes. So for a low risk investor, there's 1 losing asset class. For high risk investors, there's 2 losing asset classes. So I'm just going to use a couple of cards to represent it first, just so you can actually visually see that. So this person, they choose their first losing asset class, which they choose the bonds. Don't worry about the numbers, they just choose bonds as a losing asset class. And then their second one is gold. So these are just to represent so you can visually see what I'm talking about. So they say bonds. Bonds only applies to a low risk investor that didn't win, and the 2 cards apply to the high risk investors. Now also too, if any of these people have the same asset class as the winner, they also get a winning score. And in this case, we'll start with the low risk investor first. What have they got? They've got stocks. So stocks is safe. So under the scoring, they get half their investment. So 3 to the power of 10 is what their score would be. In this case here, now we move on to the high risk investors. So that both cards apply, or both asset classes. So this person's got stocks as well, so they're safe. They get a 0 score because 0 applies to high-risk investors that are in the safe category. This high-risk investor has bonds. So bonds is a losing asset class. So they've got 8 times their number of tricks. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But because they're losing, that means that they get a negative score. So 6 to the power of 8 is 6 doubled, which is 12. Doubled again is 24, 48, 96, 192, 384, 768. So they get a negative score of 768. So that's a brief rundown of how the scoring works. What you do is then you pack all the cards up, shuffle them, play again, play for 10 rounds, and whoever has the highest score after those 10 rounds wins the match.